All right, y'all. Different kind of video today. We're just gonna have to level with you real quick here. You could tell because there was no intro that this is some serious stuff. But on a real note, it's also 1:42 in the morning. We just got off the heels of recording a super long tier list, and God, was that so much fun, but so exhausting to do. So bear with me, bear with Isaiah here, as we may stumble over our words, but we're just kind of shooting from the hip here and speaking from the heart. On a real serious note, you may have noticed with our channel that ever since kind of the copyright debacles that we've had in the past, and then with Gavin stepping down, for those of you who were here when Gavin was on the channel, and our transition into this remote medium, and then kind of trying to play catch up with life from there. Our channel has been growing, but has definitely suffered in certain ways that have been sometimes visible to the outside audience, but more so on a background and a behind the scenes note, right? Between Isaiah and I just trying to juggle life with this and make the best sort of content for you guys possible. Also making sure we're doing enough of it, you know, all that kind of stuff. And this is basically to say that, and this is, I'm speaking for myself here, because I'm kind of the a-hole in this whole situation, that I am going to be doing some soul searching and kind of, I don't want to say stepping away. Maybe that's a strong term, but there's really no other way to put it. Kind of stepping away for the time being from this sort of content, making specifically reaction videos and trying to adhere to that strict schedule, and treating it like a job when it comes to the AOA brand, the AOA Reacts channel specifically. And I want to make it known that I do enjoy all of the anime that Isaiah and I have been watching and reviewing, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying our discussions and reactions to all those things. And I feel really not too great about doing this because I feel for the fans and the people that are there. But I understand at the end of the day, and you know, Isaiah has helped me through this in conversation, that finding that mental clarity is kind of paramount for being able to grow as a person on an individual level. And if, you know, it so happens that we go full, you know, all out into AOA again, coming back revigorated and reloaded, and knowing that if I had stepped away from it, that it yearned to me, that this is something that I need to come back to, right? And now I know. But I think I'm in a point in my life right now where I don't know. And I think because life is so busy at the moment, it's hard for me to ever get another point of view, right? Another opinion within myself, and to try some other things that I've been passionate about and want to try and express creatively. It's just been a lot. To, you know, give you a little bit of background, and you know, at the end of the day, this isn't a competition between like, well, so-and-so does more than this person, or like, I've got it harder than that person. Listen, we all have the same 24 hours, and life is different and unique for each person. And we do the best that we can, and everybody's different. So we have to go along our own path here. But you know, from my experience, you know, I've been working a full-time job now, which definitely makes YouTube much tougher. But the issue on top of that is that we're also trying to produce, you know, roughly 7 videos a week for the reaction channel, and keep up with scheduling and making sure that these shows are coming out relatively close to when they air. So that means getting on, recording them, editing them. And I also have that while I'm juggling, you know, I have a relationship with my girlfriend as well, which is, you know, something that has to be cared about, obviously, right? There's a lot of work that has to go into that as well. So this is all to say that there's a very limited amount of time, speaking personally, that I have between those sorts of obligations that draw me away, and unfortunately, with like the with the full-time job and all that kind of stuff, you have to do it to live, right? So it, there's very little time in between those breaks and when you have to go to bed, recharge, and get ready for the next day. And we've been in a spot between Isaiah and I where we've had to meet immediately and then just hammer out these reactions. And then, if we have time, we go to bed, and then the next day it's like, okay, we got to edit these, and then there's more to come up. And it's just a lot of work right now. And it's made it kind of hard for Isaiah and I to express ourselves creatively in other avenues that we wanted to experiment with. Isaiah can, let you know anything that he might be thinking or whatever. But again, from personal experience, there's some things that I think I want to try. And I think I want to try them with the idea in mind that I don't have to hammer down so much on the job aspect of YouTube. While I love creating, I love entertaining, I love the freedom that YouTube gives and being able to express yourself and be your own boss. That is what I ultimately would love to do as the dream job at the end of the road. So this isn't to say that it's not going to be taken serious at all, but I think just for my mental health, taking a step back and not treating it as the, absolute end all be all, this is all or nothing, might help, because I feel like the highs get high and the lows get really low with just the kind of person that I am. So long-winded way, but y'all know me. I rant because sometimes I just don't know how to get to the point. But this is all to say that I'm going to be taking a break from this. Isaiah and I, are going to be taking a break, because AOA is us. It is our child. And so that doesn't mean that there will never be a post between the two channels in the time being. There might be some sort of passion project that Isaiah or maybe even myself wants to pursue, or maybe we'll come together for something. Point is, it's kind of in the air. So I don't want to set a false expectation. I also don't want to leave it too vague. I want you guys to be aware of what's going on. I don't want you to be expecting, the weekly videos of whatever's going on, but I also don't want you to think that the channel is dead, because it's certainly not. The brand is not dead. Just need some time to step back and be a little introspective here and figure out where we want to go and the next steps of our lives. So that's what's going down. I wanted to let Isaiah expound upon if he had any thoughts or what was on his mind, and then I wanted to tell you, don't go anywhere, about how you can still support us and that we aren't totally leaving. There's more to this than what has been said so far. But Isaiah, if you got anything.
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff, we're kind of, Ian and I, in different places in our lives. And I think part of where this stems from is just that, is that now that we're, recording remotely, and we're sort of been figuring out how to restructure the show, we started to realize that like our different lives are offering us up different amounts of time to work on things. And, while some of that is definitely just us and time management getting better, um, like Ian was saying, a lot of it, can stem from like, am I certain I even want to be putting in as much time to this? It's not something that's alien to, to us, to people, to humans. And I definitely think, like Ian said, we've talked about it, that like taking a step and taking some time away and really like soul searching, levels of thought into like if this is something that we want to continue is good. Um, because we absolutely don't want, because this is hard work. This is very hard work, and especially where we're at now, it's very hard work with very little, I'm not going to say return, because I think what you get out of it is kind of in an extent up to you, but very little protection and very little security to keep doing it.
Mm.
We are incredibly lucky to have a Patreon and to have as many patrons that are backing and supporting us as we do now. And we obviously are very, very humble and thankful that you guys, you patrons are, supporting what we do. And even, all of the 7,000 plus subscriptions, on our channel, everybody that has like said, yeah, I mess with what you guys are doing, means the world to us. Cause unfortunately, YouTube is not a platform that really benefits or cares, for lack of a better term, about its creators. I'm sure most of you guys who are watching this who are probably fans of us know about the whole webtoon debacle that we got into a while back, and know that that type of thing, you could apply it to not even specifically webtoons, to anime, to manga, to whatever. Is kind of par for the course when it comes to creators that are making content about this. The fact of the matter is YouTube will always bend the knee to these bigger companies and stuff. And that's just a long-winded way of saying that it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of mental work to like do what we do and not feel beaten down from it, because there's every reason to feel beaten down by it. um and so again, taking a step back and really prioritizing your own self and being like, is this something I really want to do? Because we don't want to have to work through all that and then come to find that we somehow make it and we're like, okay, but I kind of regret doing this, like I still hate it. Because then no, then we're in an infinitely worse situation than we were at the start of this. That being said, like I said, I'm in a little bit of a different situation. I'm not really so much in the mindset that I don't know if I want to be doing this. I'm actually kind of in like a situation of like wanting to double down, but double down in the sense that like kind of want to try some new stuff, right? AOA, again, as you guys know, we haven't really posted to the AOA show channel in a while. We've kind of been doubling down on the reaction channel, and part of that is because of our hectic lives and the scheduling and all that stuff. It just forwarded itself to, the fact that reaction videos are some of the easier videos to produce, whether, to recording, to editing, as opposed to anything else. And it hasn't afforded me the liberty to like try and do anything new. For fear that, it would take up too much time and production and stuff and, putting it together. But B, also because like Ian said, looking at this from the mind frame we have been has gotten me into this very, not good place in my head of like being afraid to try something new because it might not do well. And that reason in and of itself is a reason not to try something. Which I've come to realize, me on a personal and on a creator level, I don't like that. I don't want that to be the reason I never try something or make something new. So all that being said, like Ian said, a lot of this is up in the air. This isn't to say that AOA is going away. This isn't to say that it's not. This is purely to say that we just need time. We want, we are just asking, from you guys time and some patience so that we can sort of figure things out, figure out where we want to go, where we want to point, where we want to aim ourselves before we really go gung ho. But with that being said, I will actually be starting up my own personal channel. I'll probably have it in the link, if this video, if you guys want to go check it out. The plan is to start uploading videos that are kind of just talking about a little bit of everything, some anime, maybe some manga, some webtoons. And the plan is to have some more like discussionary type content, maybe some video essays, really just me kind of talking about what things I like and stories that I want to talk about, but in a different fashion than maybe that you're used to over here. And that's, like I said, that's really for me, like just it will feel good for me to be able to do something new, do something different, do something that I don't normally do. Because yeah, like that's sort of where we're at, and that's what we need.
Yeah. So just piggybacking what Isaiah said, for that last part there, I want to be abundantly clear with people that for me, a lot of this stepping back from this is not necessarily axing YouTube, because as I stated, I love what YouTube is able to provide me. I love it. It's a matter of in what way do I want to express myself through it, is probably going to be the main question. So like Isaiah said, Isaiah is going to have his own personal channel. I also have mine as well. We'll link both of them in the description. Isaiah's is EXP, mine is hype_AI. And so if you guys want to keep supporting us and you like what it is that we've done through these years and such, please consider going over and subscribing to those channels. It really goes a long way. In terms of the content that I am thinking of making, I'm not totally set yet. And I think that's an exciting thing because I'm looking at my channel right now of like old videos I have, and it's all over the place. You know what I mean? Just kind of just doing anime stuff or books or whatever. And I think I'm gonna try and figure that out. But that's part of what this kind of soul searching journey is, right? So that's going to be something to look out for the both of us. And that's going to be something that we want to do so we could use all of our creative juices and anything that's popping up and expressing ourselves. We can post it to those channels. So definitely go and subscribe there if you want to keep supporting us, and you could get our content between Isaiah and I just in a different medium, but still on YouTube. Just different types of stuff, which will be nice because it'll kind of crack open the bottle a little bit, the can, and you guys could get a bunch of different things going on. And like I said, that doesn't mean that AOA is dead at all. It just means that we are taking a hiatus at the moment to organize our lives and all that kind of stuff, and then go from there. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it. I'm trying to think if I missed anything, but I think that's really where I could end it off personally. If I talk anymore, I'll just be rambling more than I already have. So, Isaiah, is there anything else that you wanted to say?
I mean, yeah, just again, I'm trying not to make this sound so much like a goodbye, but like, just again, I want to thank everybody that has watched all these videos, whether it's React channels or the AOA show, how long you've been watching, if you're a supporter of the Patreon. Because like I speaking for me personally, I really do love making content, and for me it's more about making content that I haven't really been afforded the opportunity to make here, whether it be because of scheduling or the mind frame and the 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 set that we've been looking at this channel and the way we've been running it, and how we want to run it maybe in the future. And with Ian, just sort of taking a step back and doing some soul searching. So it's really about us getting in a better place. And it's, we, because obviously we don't want to sort of just keep doing this and ignoring these issues and these questions. And, we had a very long conversation before this. And we both settled on this is what will be best for us, which will obviously in turn be better for whatever kind of content we produce in the future. So, I do hope that you guys, go support whatever Ian ends up doing, go support, or come support whatever I end up doing. If you're feeling it, that would be very much appreciated. And just thank you guys for being awesome.
Awesome. Well said. Also, join you could still join the Discords and all that kind of stuff just as a general rule, because we're always online anyway, and we still have it and we check it regularly, and I don't think that'll stop because we've kind of invested quite a bit into there. So keep that in mind. You know what I mean? If you ever need to get in contact with us or whatever, like I said, you'll have our channels on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, but that is still there. I just want to make sure that this isn't misinterpreted as, okay, everybody disband, it's been fun. Not in the slightest. Like, please don't do that. That would really suck. I'd be really upset. If you like what we do with this channel, AOA, like, just hang out, and bear with us. If you have the patience, really goes a long way. We appreciate it. And I think in the future, it'll pay dividends for us and for our fans. But anyway, that is all we have. That is our message. We love you all, but we're excited to get the creative juices flowing and make some new content. So go head over to those channels, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace out.
Peace.